it, off limits. Thought I would miss it before I ditched it, dismissed it. Yeah, I was timely.
I have a history of winning like ANZT, like the solo tournament, and I guess just having more tournament experience than a lot of the players. So I hope I win, but if I don't, I won't be upset because I'll be proud of whoever else beats me.
Who do you think are the strongest contenders beside yourself in the Oceanic Cup?
Definitely, Atkins is the main one, I think. Zintex, Kyujin, Raikou, I think is quite underrated. I think there's a chance for him too. Pala, I think, could top 3, and I think those are the main ones, at least for me, like looking at it. And Cloppet as well.
How do you feel about Superior going into the year?
He's been improving a lot on his tech and like other skill sets in general, so I'm looking forward to him being able to play other stuff and being less nervous as well after playing an OC World Cup tends to give people a really good skill push in tournaments, so I think he'll be a lot better going into this year too.
What's one thing you think people underestimate about you as a player?
I don't know if I necessarily have much things people underestimate about me, but I think aim is a big one. I usually pick no mod ones nowadays into a lot of people, whereas people like normally assume I'm not really that good at stuff like that. So probably just aim.
What advice would you give to players who are also trying to reach the top?
Okay.
You heard it. Just don't be straight.
No, the unironic answer for that is definitely when you're trying to improve, to enjoy the ride and actually like have fun. Because if you're tilted, your brain's not going to pick anything up. There's no point in grinding something that you don't like. So having fun while you're grinding is the main thing.
Do you have any goals for 2026 OC?
I want to win OC World Cup so bad, dude. I want to win so bad.
Same.
That's probably the big one, is to try and win that. But obviously, like, you can't just assume you're gonna win. Just to keep playing and maintain my skill and keep pushing as far as I can. That's the main thing, and to keep enjoying the game.
All right, welcome back everybody to the Oceanic Cup after a quick break from a nice matchup between Haley and Drox. Here we have a winner's bracket matchup versus ASecretBox, the first seed, the favorite to win the entire thing, I think from the opinions of most, up against ozbert, seed 8, who had a very, very good match against, funnily enough, Drox, the player we just saw last weekend. And will have to try to prove himself again, this time on a much harder pool against quite a fearsome opponent. Commentating this match is going to be myself, Vordy, and I'm joined once alongside, or not joined along, but by the same commentator here last time, Statlord. What are your thoughts here?
Thank you. This is a really, really interesting matchup. ASecretBox obviously being the very, very clear winner, the favorite to win it all versus ozbert, who has actually been really on an up and up, actually being the best player in New Zealand at the time of qualifiers and round of 16. And this is looking like a really interesting matchup. I believe there are some maps that ozbert could win, but overall this is very box favored, especially for this SR.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of this is that star rating you mentioned. Box banning out that Hard Rock 2, very, very precise map. Probably not feeling too comfortable on it. I think Box especially, some of his bans will just be taking out the maps in the pool he's the least strong on, because he'll be able to play almost anything at this level, which is quite a big step up from the round of 16 pool. Some of these maps, you know, basically everything in the 7-star range, some 8 stars, some of the gimmickier maps are really, really tough for their star rating. ozbert banning out the tapping, unsurprisingly. We have the Nomad 2 gone and the DT2 gone, so the stamina's out. And I mean, that's going to be one of Box's strongest skill sets as he rounds out the Hard Rock 1 ban. So both players banning out similar types of maps. And going into ozbert's first pick, which, what are we thinking here for ozbert? It's going to be very tough to pick against Box.
Yeah, so for ozbert, I think he's really good at some of those hidden maps, but his standout performances thus far on this tournament has been some of those tapping maps, but that's also Box's biggest strengths as well, so it's going to be a really tough first pick to predict.
Goes for that DT1. So interestingly enough, I'd have to check again. I feel like ozbert might have banned out the DT1 against Drox last weekend, despite having a very, ozbert very strong on the DT1 and qualifiers. Obviously very good at the skill sets. First pick set against Box. It's a 10.5 approach rating map, so pretty high up there. Pretty generic though, much more generic I think than last weekend. A lot of the maps in this pool I would describe as pretty, if you played the skill set, you're going to be familiar with all the kind of patterns you're seeing. Just very hard. It's very mechanically challenging. In this map routine, you might have been familiar with the song from the love map of this map set, or the song. Pretty basic, aim focused, have some bursts, have some streams, not too spaced though. Just a nice, raw mechanics test, and obviously the tough part for ozbert here, with any map he picks, is going to be Box is also pretty good at this stuff, but that's just what you have to deal with.
Yeah, you pretty much summed it up. This is a very, very generic map, I want to say, but I'm looking like Box is actually going to find the first break, and ozbert's going to come out with the lead on this map.
Nice early start here for ozbert. Has a tiny bit of knack deficit, but this won't matter much. A big fact with ozbert throughout last matchup against Drox and just throughout his tournament history in general, he's a bit of a combo fiend. He's a bit of a combo demon. So dropping combo against him this early on a map that honestly is going to be pretty capable of. He's looking really, really solid here. And is the type of player to kind of have these clutch scores. But Box, right behind if he finds a miss.
Yeah, absolutely. We're almost halfway through this first map, and it's looking like ozbert's gonna get a pretty comfortable lead of 70k, but with this map, and many A maps in particular, this is a very combo-centric map in here, and ozbert is gonna come with the break, and Box is gonna continue with that 500 combo, with that combo lead now.
classic middle miss from ozbert as well, the worst spot in the map to miss for capping your score, as Box takes back the lead, gets a big chain 100 on the stream, but gets through it with the combo, is what matters at the end of the day. Now with the score lead, big combo lead as well, as long as he can take this combo another 200 more, he's probably going to have this. And that miss was a slider break from Box, and on a map like this it is honestly an uncharacteristic miss. But he's looking for the breakpoint here, and with that other break from ozbert, it pretty much seals it. Only 4 of the map left to go.
Yeah, it's looking like it was looking pretty good for ozbert for the whole time until he finally broke, and it's looking like Box is also gonna have another break towards the end, but it's not gonna matter at all. We've got a 1,000 point lead in favor of ASecretBox, and that's the first point, a break point in favor of Box.
Rough to start it out with a break point, but honestly pretty good score. 570k with how hard this map pool is. Can be pretty happy with that score. 1 miss, I think the other break likely was a slider break. But Box, 725k. Tough to beat that one as he goes into his first pick here. And you know, if he wants to pick into tapping, you still have that No Mod 5. Obviously, No Mod 2 is banned, DT2 is banned. You still have No Mod 5 and DT3, which are higher BPM, which is less of a comfort zone for Box than the stamina. But especially something like that No Mod 5 should still be well within his range. DT3 obviously being 300 BPM. But other than tapping, could go for some other stuff here.
It's actually going to be the DT4 this time. We've got Last Train at 25 o'clock. Very interesting choice, but if you're Box, this map, as far as I know, does not have a DT full combo on it, so it's definitely one of the harder maps in this pool, and if you are ASecretBox, you want to pick into those skill cap pips as much as you can, because Box, I believe, has a much higher skill cap than ozbert.
I do definitely agree with picking some of the harder maps. It's interesting you pick this because this is pretty unusual for a DT4. It is CS6, so leaning into some precision there as well. Did ban the Hard Rock 2, which was 7.5, but obviously 6 more in his comfort zone. Obviously, other than being a test of precision, you got a lot of these really difficult aim control sections that kind of jump out at you and can be really, really tough to combo through. ozbert having the early break, but won't matter too much. I think it's going to be a lot of those aim control sections that will really kill combos here.
You're absolutely right. And taking a look at those combos right now, we've got a pretty small combo lead for Box, but ozbert's holding his own in the first quarter of this map, and it's looking a whole lot closer than what you'd expect for a first pick from Box right now, but this could change at any moment. Like right now, for example, where ozbert has a break, and it's going to be a ASecretBox with the combo.
And this is the kind of map it's tough to really regain those combos, as ozbert finds another break right after. Honestly held pretty admirably, recovering after that first break, but Box is still FCing, and as he said, I think this map has no DTFCs, and it, I guess, still won't. Box misses around the middle there, but still huge lead for him, 130k in the lead. ozbert struggling to regain any combo. And this is one of the things, man, this approach rating with this AR, not super common to see unless you're, obviously if you're a 3-mod player, you play AR11 at the CS, but it's unusual mix of settings for sure. You have to be a very particular type of player to be comfortable with a map like this. And ozbert just really struggling here to find anything, especially as some of the more aim control sections come out. That pattern, absolutely brutal. ozbert misses on it. Box no combo going into it. And this is likely wraps for this first pick at this point already.
Yeah, I would definitely agree, especially since ozbert keeps on finding the chain misses here and there. But yeah, with that AR, most of the time if you're playing on the Hard Rock, you're used to the AR-10 with the small circles, but this is, I believe, 10.3, so Box a little bit more comfortable on that higher AR, especially taking a look at those accuracies at 97 versus 92, I believe, and it's looking like a pretty done deal.
Really rough pattern Box got through. Aimed the end of that cut section right in the middle. Clearly practiced, prepared for that one. That's the kind of pattern, if you're not ready for it, you're going to have a bad time. As Box ends with, I think, almost a doubled score line. Just like 400 score under it. But very, very strong first pick on one of the, honestly, more awkward maps in the pool. Very, very tough to get a big combo on this one. And missed around the middle as well, so it could have been even more. But going back to ozbert here, didn't have a good time on the DT1. Well, had a decent time, but Box obviously just played it better. Gotta try to find something else here to convert on.
Yeah, it's tough if you're ozbert because his strongest skill set in this tournament has been those tapping maps, but he double banned them, and he's going up against ASecretBox, who is one of the best, if not the best tapping player left in this tournament. So maybe picking into a hidden could be useful, but Box is also really good at hidden, so I'm not sure what his next pick is going to be. It's going to be Nomad 4, actually, picking into that custom tech map.
Second warning. Goes for the tech, and yeah, it's going to just have to be picking into your strengths. Pretty demonic map, very, very cool background with the red eye just staring into your soul. Extra points if you play this map with background dim turned to 0. Get the real test of nerves here. I would say pretty expected kind of tech map, just really, really difficult, obviously, as all the maps are at this stage.
Yeah, I believe this is the first custom map of this quarterfinals map pool, and it's looking like we're going to get straight into it.
And I do kind of like the strategy here. It's going to be very tough to out-act ASecretBox on pretty much anything. He's a very, very good accuracy player, so if you want to beat him on a point, you're going to have to get him on combo. It's something ozbert is good at doing. And this is the type of map you can just get a miss anywhere, just how tech maps at this difficulty are. Really don't have much free combo outside of something like the intro here. All the cuts can absolutely destroy you as we get into the meat of the map. So far, players not having struggles, but as I said, with a map like this, you can just break on any of these aim control sections, and any of the sliders as well. As Box, first to break, and that gives ozbert some room here to make some magic happen.
Yeah, this is the first quarter of the map, but maybe this is a tactical miss from Box to get less nervous, but ozbert is holding onto these really, really tough aim control slider sections. I mean, ozbert is a really good tech player, but Box breaks again. So combo lead in favor of ozbert again.
And that second miss is the big one, because now he's going to be so far behind on recoveries. ozbert is just crushing these sections a little bit longer, and I think he might get into a quiet part, but he's through the halfway point now, and does, unfortunately, find a slider break. Man, right as we have a bit of free combo here with Box once again. Oh wait, no, that's a Bancho! That's a Bancho! He's holding! Oh my goodness, ozbert is absolutely crushing it here. Not even far behind on the accuracy. Does mess up on that cut doubles in the top left, but he already has such a big lead, over 100k scored. Box is going to have a run at this ending to have a chance to take things back.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking a look at the combos, Box does have a little bit of a lead, but ozbert has cemented himself a 92,000 point lead right now, and it's looking like he's planning to continue that as he hits more and more of those really difficult aim control techie sections. He finally finds a break, but Box is holding, so this might get really interesting really quickly.
There is a chance here now for Box. A quarter of the map left. Does find a miss, though. I think that was 100% potential for a comeback here, but now as long as ozbert holds it together, the remaining section of the map, you should have this one. Not a miss here, but still 50k. I don't think Box has enough time.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this is going to be an ozbert win. Even after this break, I don't think it's going to be enough. The point is, the lead is 33k and decreasing, but yeah, that's going to be ozbert's first win, I believe. And it ended up being really close towards the end, but at the end of the day, that early combo really paid dividends on ozbert's win for his second pick. And it's going to be a hidden 3 next pick. Really interesting strategy after directly losing that No Mod 4.
You're getting right into the other most tech-heavy map of the pool. Yeah, no sweep against the Seed 1. Big point for ozbert as he gets a big, massive combo to start the map. But here we go, Ryusei Gun, a very classic map. I think this is a beloved map by a lot of players. Been pulled in tournaments a couple times, but yeah, interesting to go right into this after just losing the tech, but maybe just low rolled, obviously probably feeling better as well. This is a different kind of tech map. I would say it's more spiky in nature. It's less consistent than the map we just saw. Has some more flow aim heavy sections as well, some big streams. But yeah, I mean, if you're familiar with this map as well, a couple of slider ticks that you gotta be prepared for to hit.
Absolutely. And we're gonna have to wait until ASecretBox has the break on the very first pick, but it's matched by ozbert.
Big miss by ozbert on that flowing section. Box now recovering pretty well, and ozbert finding a lot of struggles here, dropping a lot of accuracy. That has caused his score to kind of get tanked. And this is the type of map, just with no mod, it's already so uncomfortable, so difficult to combo, much harder than Box is making it look right now, but hitting just adds a wrinkle to it. You have to be so strong on this kind of tech. And his Box now recovered very well, very good accuracy, and that accuracy is almost more impressive than anything else on a map like this.
Yeah, taking a look at the 99.2% accuracy on this map, Ryusei Gun. I don't even know how that's possible, but I guess Box is just doing Box things. We questioned this pick at the very beginning, directly after losing that No Mod 4, but I think it was just a low roll from Box, because he's really comfortable on this map.
I think he did mention after the No Mod 4 that it was a bottom local. Seems to might have been the case, as he's absolutely crushing this pick right now. ozbert struggling to find any combo, and I cannot blame him too much how difficult this map is. And Box, this is a long map as well. This is one of the longer picks in the pool, over 4 minutes, so a pretty big test of consistency as well. Not even at the halfway point. Box is looking at home, at peace, unbelievably comfortable on a map that is extremely uncomfortable to play.
Yeah, as we get towards the 1000 combo mark for ASecretBox, ozbert just cannot find a foothold on anything, so... but never mind, he
Yeah, I mean, that stream is just like, I don't know. I don't know who is good enough to consistently hit that like every time. It feels like a little bit of a gamble with the acceleration at the end with the hidden. But I don't really think that matters. Box is already 230k in the lead. He's almost tripling ozbert's score right now. So the rest of the map, probably just get to enjoy.
Yeah, we're heading up on the slow section, and we've got a 244,000 point lead in favor of ASecretBox right now, and it's looking like it's gonna stay there, so... unfortunate for ozbert, but this is Box's pick. We questioned it at first, but this is going to be a really solid score from Box. Unfortunate that he missed in that accelerating stream, but otherwise it's a really solid score.
A very good score, regardless. I don't even think Box has maybe probably submitted a hit and only score on this map. But maybe he should after this. Grind some locals. I think he seems like he could definitely see it as he's building another massive combo once again. Just that very early miss and the miss on that one pattern towards the middle. He's just cruising Ozbert, you know, trying his best. It's just, this is kind of the thing with this star rating increase from round of 16, especially on some of these more gimmickier maps. You're not going to find 16 people in Oceania who can play this kind of stuff at an extremely high level. But Box is certainly one of those players. Showing it here. Rounds it out with nice 570k. Extremely strong performance.
That is one of the best scores I've ever seen on this map. Ever. And that's going to be the point for Secret Box. It's going to be 3-1 now. So ozbert, I'm not sure what he's going to pick next. Maybe he knows better, but looking back, he's got like Nomad 1, 3, 5, and 6. And maybe it could be a reading map. Because I don't think he's going to pick DT3 into Box. Hard Rock 3, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I mean, Hard Rock 3 seems like the kind of thing maybe ozbert could combo game, but I still don't think he would. But you know, Hard Rock 1, Hard Rock 2 ban, but that's not necessarily a case of you know, ozbert necessarily being as comfortable on those maps as Box might be, just not wanting to necessarily play them. Since some of the Hard Rock 1, for example, was, I believe, ozbert's weakest performance in qualies. But you know, if he can make some magic like that Nomad 4 happen, he certainly has the capacity for some of these maps to get a pretty nuts combo. He's asking for his guaranteed amount of picks at this point, which I think is 2. Just for the rest of the match if he loses everything.
Yeah, it is two picks, and it's going to be that Nomad 6 picking into that reading. Very interesting strategy, but hopefully it pays off.
Whether or not it will pay off is likely a question of practice. This is a very, very gimmicky Nomad 6. Obviously AR8, the lowest AR map in the pool. Hidden 2 is actually AR9 instead of the typical AR8. But lots of perfect stacks, lots of really, really awkward rhythms that, unless you're really well practiced, probably will not be able to read them on the spot. Some couple of aim control-y sections, a little bit of cuts, and especially at 200 BPM as well for this AR8. Very, very dense, so just a brutal test of reading. And hopefully for ozbert, he picked this, so I assume he's pretty well practiced, but even saying that, I anticipate lots of breaks here for both players.
Absolutely. I just saw this match in the previous matchup between Drox and Haley, and that map was absolutely brutal here. These two players are slightly better, but ozbert has a break at the very beginning, whereas it shouldn't be too prevalent, but with that break again, this is going to be a bit dangerous.
And not just the breaks, but really struggling to find a footing on the accuracy as Box, looking extremely well prepped on this introduction, does find a miss on these really awkward anti-aim sections. You can just see how much of a struggle those are to hit, but I mean, look at the lead already. This is a pretty short map as well, obviously already a third into the map. ozbert, 76% accuracy, not something you want to see on your own pick. And I mean, barring some heroic, miraculous, you know, just the AR8 goggles flipped on, and he breaks into the matrix, it's probably going to be impossible to come back at this point, as well. Box looking pretty good here.
Yeah, taking a look at the accuracies especially, we got 98% AC on this versus an 81. Yeah, this is very, very much a matter of comfort on this AR8 with this intense density, rhythm changes, aim control.
Okay, how did Box just SS that 1/3 section with unbelievable UR? I was staring at his UR bar as he did that. That's the Ackman difference to get through that really awkward rhythm. And it's just going to be the miss on that one anti-aim pattern as he FCs the rest of the map. Well, yeah, FCs the rest of the map, 640k. Definitely a mispick by ozbert. Maybe he thought Box couldn't really play something like this, but clearly he could.
Yeah, 640k on this. That is insane. I didn't think that this score was even possible, but that's going to be a break point on Osbert's third pick, I believe. And now, if you're a secret box, you have 2 more picks to go. And I'm taking a look at that DT3 at 300 BPM and thinking, like, I can play 300 BPM quite well. And Aussie banned Nomad 2 and DT2 into me. So could that be a pick? Maybe.
It's interesting because I think let's see what it goes for. For most tapping kind of players, I would normally agree, but I do think Box is a bit of a unique case in the sense that his stamina, 230 around those ranges is unbelievable, but at 300, I think it's definitely less comfortable than some, a player like Atkins, for example, who'd eat that map up, but goes for the hidden 2. So obviously just absolutely crushed the reading in Nomad 6. Clearly extremely prepared, had a great time there. Picking the other reading map, this time approach rating 9, so not as low, but definitely more awkward, hidden as well, so you have a lot of perfect stack reading. But, I mean, the fact that Box didn't ban this almost certainly means he's pretty well practiced.
Yeah, for sure. I can see this map being a lot more rhythm focused and seeing similar results to that Nomad 6 that was just picked, being a very, very tough accuracy battle, which I believe does favor Box by quite a lot.
I mean, yeah, with how he's been playing, the ACK demon he is, almost will win any ACK battle. Both players comboing this early section, which already means both players are obviously practiced. You can see a lot of these awkward patterns. The AR9 does make this a lot more playable. If this was AR8, I can't even imagine how hard it would be. But ozbert, I mean, there's some magic here if he can combo game, if he can hold.
Yeah, right now it's just an ACK battle, but Box breaks and ozbert is holding, so could this be the one break? Because this is a pretty short map as far as I know.
Yep, 227. So on the shorter end, especially with you got, King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard Hard Rock 1 over 5 minutes. But ozbert still comboing around the halfway point now. And obviously not doing too well on the accuracy, but that doesn't matter if you can hold with that early Box break and just get the combo gaming inside of you, as he has a 30k score lead right now around the middle, so you do not want to miss here. And he's just absolutely combo gaming.
Yeah, that lead is so fragile right now. The moment that ozbert breaks, we know that scoreline is going to fly over to the other side just based on the ACK difference on score v2. But it's looking like ozbert not gonna break. Sorry about that.
Oh, no. I was gonna say, after that Nomad 6, you kind of think, maybe not feeling it on the reading in this matchup, but obviously not as AR9, but still just crushing these unbelievably awkward patterns. This map, by the way, with the new hidden SR change is almost 7 stars, just because of the mechanics, really. So factoring the reading, absolutely brutal, as he's still full comboing, and now I think even if he misses, I don't think Box can take this back as he's recovering perfectly from that earlier break, but ozbert is giving him no room. Can ozbert end this hidden 2 with a full combo? He's going for it, does find a miss, unfortunately, but I think he's done enough as he break points the one and only ASecretBox on his own pick.
Yeah, I was questioning that Nomad 6 pick, but maybe ozbert just really, really low rolled that Nomad 6, because this hidden 2 performance is really, really solid, especially considering that's basically a full combo and, well, minus the choke. But yeah, that's gonna open a lot of things up, I believe. Now, if you're ozbert, what do you pick next? I'm actually not sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no reading left, nothing gimmicky, low approach rating like that. Reason about that too is Box didn't even play that badly. I mean, if you ask Box before picking that map, do you think a 630k would win you the pick? He'd be like, oh yeah, almost certainly. But ozbert just crushed that one. And in one pick.
Oh yeah.
So ozbert solo read, imagine. I mean, honestly, I think Yeah, I think one of these aim maps, one of these more comfort picks, I think are kind of the place to go where Box can get a silly break anywhere. ozbert picking for the hidden one, so bit more awkward, obviously, than the Mod 1. Still aim focused, but AR 9.6, 221 BPM. He's got a lot of these awkward aim patterns. Because ozbert needs to hold in this last quarter for as long as he can, and he still doesn't even have the score lead just because of Box's obviously phenomenal accuracy, but it's going to slowly move towards his side. How much of a clutch gene does he have? His combo game before in the World Cup for New Zealand. A very tough map to do it here against Box. As he finally takes the score lead, and how far can ozbert go?
Yeah, I think he has to full combo the rest of this map in order to take this point. And it's looking like he's probably gonna do it, but... And yeah.
Hits a 100 still, 10k score in the lead, any break can flick it, but I think that might be the end of the hard parts of the map. As ozbert pulling off a heist, obviously not a breakpoint, but still takes that breakpoint away from Box and just clutches it in the ending. 2 miss, once again combo gaming, accuracy doesn't matter. It is a combo game. As he asks how to act right after, I like that. I like that question to get in your opponent's head a little bit. As you know, a matchup that I think a lot of people going into this might have thought, oh, Box, you know, harder pull, he's seed 1, he's gonna absolutely crush this matchup, but 3 points for ozbert now, and off the back of some just really, really good scores. These aren't really boxed chokes, as it is ozbert is playing really well here.
Yeah, I also want to point out that ASecretBox on that last map got 0 100s and 4 misses, I believe. So if you were to ask anyone if a zero miss play would somehow lose, then I don't know. But we're going into this Nomad 3. It's an alt map, I believe, and I don't know who to favor. I want to say Box is favored on alt, but I think this is to the point. This point of the tournament, where points can go either way, I believe.
I think both of these players are pretty good at alt, as Box just gets a massive chain miss there. Enjoy that note lock. ozbert, pretty good alt players, had some pretty great alt performances before. This map, very mechanically difficult, a pretty big step up from last week's Nomad 3. Pretty straightforward alt map, just obviously really difficult on the spacing and the consistency. And man, ozbert, he can build some momentum here. If he can manage to go into a breakpoint, then that would even up the match. That would take us 4-4. And he has that early chain miss from Box to help him out here. Is also really good on the accuracy. And man, ozbert is just showing that for a lot of these maps here, he is not at all skill capped by this difficulty. Still holding on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and both players get through this Ki section, and gonna be ozbert with the small combo lead at 44k, and whoever breaks, the other player is just gonna get a really nice lead, but both are holding quite nicely, and this could be anyone's game.
Absolutely, and this is a really, really good showing from both players. But ball is in ozbert's court as he finds his own chain miss to trade the earlier chain miss on the intro from Box, and now he'll quickly take the lead as long as he holds a little bit longer. And it's going to be up to him.
This is halfway through, so ozbert is going to get score capped on this map, unfortunately, and it's looking like Box is heading in after these spinners and into the easy section with 980 combo to his name. And
yeah, with that second ozbert miss, I was going to say, Box manages to find the break here. ozbert could catch up, but now it's been very tough. Both players hit those wiggles. I think ozbert misses right at the end, but that's such a difficult pattern. Box getting through it. The early miss strat working in this case, as he is on a reverse choke right now. I think there's like 10 misses at the beginning, but still technically a reverse choke. It's really one missing that causes the misses.
Absolutely. ASecretBox has now gotten a 250,000 point lead towards the last eighth of this map, and it's looking like it's going to be finally his point on the board.
He will not let this match get too out of hand, as a breakpoint here from Ozzy would have tied things up. As he's still going for that reverse choke here. Can he take it all the way to the end? 99% accuracy now, despite all the misses in the beginning. I think his 100 count is going to be phenomenal once again. Maybe not exactly 0-100s like we saw in the hidden one, but pretty close. As there we go, 880k in a really good performance from ozbert on Box's pick. Very commendable showing, but tough to beat that scoreline from Box.
Yeah, this is 7 100s on this map from Box, and a 500k score from ozbert's very, very respectable. Would have probably beat almost any other player. It's just, what do you do when you're facing off against the #1 seed and overall favorite to win the entire tournament on something like this?
You don't have much wiggle. I mean, for reference, we were in the previous two matches. We've seen this map be picked both times. This would have beaten Drox's score, Haley's score, Hugin's score, but not Dumb Andy's score by a bit. So obviously a very, very competitive scoreline from ozbert. It's just, that Box score might likely well be the score of the week for that pick. Here we go. ozbert picking the DT3. And I kind of like this pick because I honestly think if you catch Box on a bad tapping day, this is the kind of map he might be less comfortable playing. And ozbert, honestly, pretty solid at the higher BPM tappings. Not sure for the star rating. This will be a bit of a test for him, but if he has the combo gaming in him, you just got to mash through these bursts and you can make some magic happen, as he's done a couple times already now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. ozbert is basically the king of combo gaming his way, even with lower AC, into a player like Box. And this DT3, sitting at 300 BPM, I can see all sorts of chokes and misses happening from either player at this point, but we're going to get right into it, and both of these players being really solid tapping players, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, 300 BPM for this one, so pretty high up there. A lot more burst orientated than last week's DT3, which had a good amount of aim consistency with the pre-burst heavy ending. This one from the jump, got plenty of triples. I still have to dial in on the aim, as it is 300 BPM, so pretty fast snaps. But a lot more burst heavy as both players so far. Pretty good on the intro, but Box showing the accuracy once again. ozbert, though, pretty comfortable, and you know, we've seen this happen a couple times. An early Box miss here, and suddenly things can go awry. But none yet.
Yeah, first quarter of the map, and both players are still holding on to the FC.
Really solid stuff here.
It's going to be another instance of that Nomad 3 where the first person to break at this point of the map is just going to have the score flying in the other direction, and who that's going to be, I don't know.
And now the ACK game, with some ACK drops from Box, actually being won by ozbert by a small amount that could obviously go away, but there's just no way this comes down to an ACK battle. Decently past the halfway mark. Both players are still full comboing, and this is over 8 stars, by the way. Like, just the raw mechanics, the speed required, the aim as well is no joke, and obviously the bursts are the real test. And ozbert, man, he's doing it, but Box is gonna be right there if he finds a miss, but neither player budging.
Yeah, this is so close right now, and we're three quarters of the way through, and still neither player has broken. We just have ACK drops, and this is literally just going to be an ACK battle towards the end. Neck and neck.
ozbert, some shakes in the aim, but he's holding, and there's barely any map left. He'll win it if he holds the combo and the ACK lead, but it could go any moment. It's still this 8 score. Does he actually do it? He does! He ACK wins the DT3 against ASecretBox, as we see a double FC on an 8.2 star map. What a absolute showing from these guys, as ozbert takes it 4-5, going into the last pick of the match, Box's pick. But man, what a performance from ozbert here.
What did we just see? A double FC on an 8.2 star map, 300 BPM, and now we're going into Nomad 1, the final pick before the tiebreaker between those two players. This map is the least likely to be a tiebreaker, but we've got Nomad 1 picked by Box, and this is the last map, and I don't even know. Oh yeah, fun fact, that play was literally Aussie's top PP play done in tournament on that DT3.
Just absolutely demonic from ozbert. As Emrek asking, are the DT3s too easy? I don't think they are. I think they're just built different. And ozbert, maybe a little bit of a, rank, D-ranker, you could say. But, man, as we go into the Nomad 1, which is an interesting pick for Box here, because if you lose it, obviously goes right into the tiebreaker, and that would give your opponent a big momentum swing. Now, obviously, this tiebreaker is very tech heavy, so it's obviously not 1-1, but going for the aim consistency, and this is quite an aim test. Despite triangle being the diff name, obviously has some triangle jumps. Honestly has all kinds of jumps, a lot of anti-aim as well.
Yeah, this is just going to be the ultimate aim consistency test. I see some linear aim, as you mentioned some triangle aim, but this is another one of those combo game maps where I can see ASecretBox getting a really, really low 100 count on this, but it's just a matter of if he misses, and if so, where his misses are going to be.
And so far, it's just that break early on, and we saw ozbert beat Box on that hit and won. So he's won against Box on aim before. And man, a lot riding on this. Box probably thought, going into this one, seed 8 shouldn't be too much of too tough. Maybe next week is when things will get really tough, but he's now, still up here. He's still up a break point, but you lose this pick, you're now suddenly 5-5 going into a tiebreaker, having lost the no mod once. A lot of pressure riding for Box as he finds a miss in ozbert. Iron blood, cold-blooded as he's hitting these big jumps, but he has to hold on for a lot longer if he really wants to get a big lead here. So he's dropping some 100s. It's not going to do a great thing for his score lead, but still FCing on the 7.6 star aim consistency map. Big verticals, hits them all.
A quarter of the way through, and Ozzy is still holding on to a full combo, I believe. And through this, going through the entire Ki with 700 combo and a 57,000 point score lead, this map is crazy, and Ozzy is looking like he's gonna get a nice, comfortable lead.
I mean, I'm just, my jaw is agape. I am stunned. The level of play that ozbert has been showing is just not normal for an 8 seed. He has been popping off. Does find the break. Has accrued a decent lead though. 80k in the lead, so Box is going to have to hold on a little bit longer. Hits the massive square, the full screen square, and he's looking for this comeback. ozbert finding another miss, and that's going to make the comeback happen faster for Box as he hits that entire section, all the big square jumps. In a more quieter part of the map, he's looking for this comeback. He does not want to let it go away to tiebreaker.
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking to Ozzy earlier about his qualifier's performance, and he said that he thinks he underperformed, and I can see why, because if you're putting up performances like this against the #1 seed, even though you're about to lose the combo and score lead, you put up 4 points against the #1 seed, favored to win, as the seed 8. That is absolutely crazy. It's looking like ASecretBox is going to take back that lead, and as we get to the last quarter of the map, and yeah, unfortunately for Ozzy, he's just not able to hold during the latter part of this map, and it's looking like ASecretBox is going to just eke out that 6-4 win over Ozzy.
I mean, Box just absolutely dialing in at the ending. Had some struggles early on, but did not let himself miss again as he's cruising through this 650k scoreline. Does find a break there, but man, really, really good effort from ozbert in that intro. Obviously, was on pace for maybe an insane breakpoint once again, but there we go. Box, as the seed 1, wins the matchup 6-4, but man, what a showing from ozbert. Did not fail to entertain, especially with that double FC from DT3 winning on AC. And man, with that performance, I would be afraid to be ozbert's opponent in the losers bracket, who seems like going through will be Hugin. Wow, so that's gonna be a New Zealand versus New Zealand matchup, which we're gonna see, by the way, in like 10 minutes against Psyche versus Emil Bus. But man, really, really good match. Really, really strong showing from ozbert. Did not let that match be anywhere close to one-sided, as he almost took us to tiebreaker. But GG's to Box. He'll be moving on to verse the winner of Maybell Zintex. So that's gonna be a fantastic semifinals matchup. And GG's, I think that's going to be it from us, from Vordy and Statlord. I think catch us in 10 minutes for the next matchup. Atkins Payudo, that one, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in Atkins Payudo in, I believe, 10 minutes.